Hey again, Fireflies. Mike here. Erica's behind the camera.
Hi!
So our next upgrade, we took a lot of cues from several other soulmates online in the Facebook user groups, and we are going to install a portal door down in the storage here underneath the dinette. So Intech, hopefully for future upgrades, they're going to take a cue from a lot of these people and install one of these portals or a door or something down there, because there's a whole section of usable storage space right underneath this part of the cushion that's a little bit difficult to get to. So what I'll do is I will show you the space, and then we'll start taking it through what I'm doing step for step in order to get this portal installed. Now, we got this one on Amazon. They're a little bit hard to find. We originally wanted to get a white version of this, but the black is fine. We wanted the white to try and, match everything else, but you know what? They didn't have it, so we went with black. It's okay. So what this is, it's all one-piece design. It's really easy to install. So all you have to do is cut the hole out to the size, the interior size of this, and it's got these screw points on it. And once you screw it into the hole that you cut into the wood, it'll just screw right in and that'll work. So let me show you the actual storage space. So to get to it, you just take off the cushion on the side and the cushion on the front here. And these use very strong Velcro. Almost seems like you're going to break them, but you're not. And so here is the door to get into the space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and remove it. And you can see it's a really large area for storage. So this is just to make it easier for us to get into. So what I'll do is we'll get set up here, and I'll take you through the step-by-step of how we're installing it. I'm not an expert at all this stuff, but we'll show you how we're doing it, okay? Be right back. Okay, everybody. So I took off the interior panel. There is a nice little white interior panel on the inside of the storage area. This actually has the outer wood, veneered wood, and then there's also a piece of particle board just on the other side of that. So when we drill and cut through that, we're going to be cutting through both of those. So the first thing I need to do is to mark where we're going to put this. So I'm going to go ahead and take out our little carpet right here and get that out of the way. And we'll put down the plastic in a minute. So we've got our handy dandy, carpenter's pencil. And I have these little marking crayons from Harbor Freight. And I think that should show up on this wood okay, which it does. So I'll probably maybe use both. I'm not too sure. What we're going to do a little bit different than some other people are doing online is we're going to have this open downwards. We looked at it yesterday after we received it, and I kind of like the idea that if it comes downwards, it will be accessible from both the inside and the outside of the camper. If we have it open this way, it'll be accessible by the interior, and if we have it open this way, it'll be accessible from the exterior. Try to move our camera a little bit here. There you go. So I was thinking to myself, if we have it open this way, it'll be accessible both ways, and it's not like we're going to be leaving this thing open. We're only going to be opening it long enough to access the space and get what we need and then close it back. And if we choose to, we can always change and rotate it later. It is a square opening, and the only thing holding it in will be some either screws or some bolts that I put in. I'm probably going to be putting in locking bolts, bolts with a locking nut, not nut, but washer on the other side to keep them from loosening up during travel. So what I'm going to do is get an idea of distance here, because right here it's okay to have it pretty close to this door, and what you want to do is, because it's got that additional piece of particle board on the inside, we want to try and cut it to where it goes through that board without cutting the outside edge, which surprisingly does not come all the way over to the edge of this. But where it's at right now, we're well within that particle board. And what you also want to avoid is the curve right here, because you don't want to have a lip coming off of that curve. So the farthest, as far over as you can, go towards the door. Put it right up against it here, and then I'm just kind of gonna hold it in place and open it up all the way. It's only maybe 1/4 of an inch from the lip of the door right here, which is plenty of space. We're not going to have any movement. So ideally we want to mark the outside edge. So I'm going to hold it right in place there. And then I'm going to come around and mark it as much as I can here. Most of these, well, all the other marks will get covered up by the extra gap you have right here. So I'm going to lay it up against it just to check my distances. And that should all be good. We can do some fine tuning after we cut it. Okay. So we didn't use the Harbor Freight crayon, but that's okay. Now two tools we're going to use to cut this are going to be our Black & Decker saw here, and of course to start our hole we're going to use a drill. Okay, before we do that, I'm going to do one more fitting just to check. Check it on the left. Check it on the right. It should be well within our spacing. Okay, so what I did is I put down a little bit of plastic here to catch the wood, and we'll have to vacuum on the inside a little bit later. Okay, now the fun part. This is the most, I hate this part. I hate destroying anything, even though in the end it'll be something really nice. I hate doing anything like this. It makes me very, very nervous, but we're doing it. So let's go ahead and start our pilot hole here. Okay, pilot hole in. Okay, what I did is I got a fine tip saw blade, And we'll see how that one does. I have one with a little bit coarser bit. And I know I brought tape in here. There it is. Okay. So one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape around the seams just to kind of protect them a little. I'm going to cut on the inside of this. That first. So put in the blade. This is where it might get a little loud. One good thing about these floors, though, is they are slick, so a broom is actually probably all we need. Okay, I'm going to have to clean that up. Handy dandy Swiss Army knife. Okay. And nope, I cut it. That's okay. I didn't go high enough, but that's fine. That's the easy fix. Oh, definitely have to vacuum all this now. And just a hair tight on this one side. That should. Oh, come on, there we go. Hey, that's it. Okay, now we've rough fit it. We'll do a little bit of cleaning and come back and I'll show you putting in the screws and finishing it up. Okay, so we've got it cleaned up. So where'd the door go, honey? Oh, it's out here. Okay, so we cleaned up. Now let's do another dry fit. Just to make sure it's a little tight, but that's okay. I'd rather have it a little tight than loose. Well, that is right on the edge right there. Okay. Looking pretty good. Okay, so, babe, does that look good to you? Okay, so the dry fit looks good. Wife approved. That's all good.
Yep, good.
Okay, so we've got 6 screw holes here. 2 on the side, 2 on the top, 2 on this side. Okay, so originally I was going to use some machine screws with locking nuts, but I was going through my shop and I found these perfect sized little black wood screws, which will go great with this because then you won't be able to see them. They will blend right in. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it using these. Go ahead and get it set back in like that. Put the drill bit, screw bit on my drill here, and make sure it's set all the way. And then don't over tighten. Make sure you got it to where it will not strip out, because the last thing you want is this to strip out. That's good right there. Put 1 screw each. Close it, make sure it closes up okay, which it does. Opens up just fine. Okay, let's go ahead and set the rest of the screws in. Make sure there's no gap, which there is right here. That one's set down. And then, just like that. Oops. Just like that, we're done. All right, so that's in place. Set and permanent. Nice and close, but not too close. And will not open. Okay, so we got it in place. And so the last thing we're going to do is button it up, make sure everything looks good. I think it looks great. It's going to make it way nice for us to get into this space and to store some additional items, so we don't have to keep taking this thing in and out. Even though it's not hard to get to necessarily, it's not easy. And if you're... This is a space that you're going to be using all the time. So I think people would rather not have to get into there to do this. Once you got it in place, nice finished look. Okay, so we'll have some more videos soon. We've got our first outing with Serenity coming up here in not very long. And we're going to be going to a place called Fort Boonesboro here in Kentucky, not too far away from Lexington. And we're going to be doing that at the end of March together. And we'll post a lot of videos because that'll be our first trek out. So until next time, Fireflies, see you soon.